Welcome everyone to Arts, Crafts, and Everything in Between. I am your host, Eileen, aka Eileen the Little Crafter. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. So I think technically this would be part, I don't know, 2 or 3. Basically this is just a little preview or understanding of how to make your own scrapbooks if you want, or even you can make your own mixed media books this way, or mixed media journals. So that is pretty cool that you learned one thing and you can use it for so much more really, really exciting stuff. And I'm happy that I learned these different types of techniques. There is one technique that eludes me because I am sewing in challenge, but I hope to remedy that in the future. They basically use some heavy-duty thread to secure the pages or signatures together to make a sewn-bound book of some of it. You can find it on YouTube or Google it. Sometimes it's also known as Japanese binding or Korean binding. It's just really beautiful, and a lot of people do it in so many different ways. So I think that it's worth the research. I'm still looking for something that's a little more simpler. I am seriously very, when it comes to sewing, I'm very challenged, but in any case, that would be another funny little story. Anyways, I keep saying anyways, okay, so that is one method I definitely cannot speak upon or speak about because I have no clue and I don't want to misguide you into thinking, oh, I know everything, because I don't. The other fun little cool method that I recently learned a while ago was basically to take 12 by 12 pieces of paper. I think I learned this through a wonderful designer. Her name is Heidi Swap. She's really big. She's like one of the rock stars in the scrapbooking world. And I seen her take a 12 by 12 piece of paper. She usually recommends single-sided, but you can also use double-sided if you have, which basically, let's backtrack for a minute. Single-sided is when the image is only on one side and the other side is just blank or white. Double-sided is where the paper has images on both sides, in case you didn't know. So you take the 12 by 12 piece of paper and you cut it down in half and you basically score it down the middle, which you just make a line, a fold, and it's now 12 by 12. You leave it like that. Decide if you're using single-sided, you just glue the white side. If you're using double-sided, pick the image that you want and then have that facing forward and glue the back to 2 pieces of paper. Now you can cut a bunch of them and then figure out which one you want from there, which images, because you probably don't want to use the same pieces of paper over and over again, but if you do, it's it's all good. And then what you do after you finish making your pages, you then take washi tape and then you take the spine and you cover it with washi tape. That's if you want. You can then put the book covers together. You glue them onto the last pages. You put them on the last pages, and then you kind of make a spine out of some durable paper or some flexible chipboard. Now, chipboard can be extra heavy, medium weight, and lightweight, which is basically your cereal boxes, which you can definitely use that as materials to make your book covers. You just cover it up with whatever you want, any type of adhesive. I do not recommend using hot glue for covering up books. If you're going to make books, you can use glues, like something that's going to be stand up to wear and tear or acid free. There are a lot of different glues out there on the market. My favorite is, well, I'm not liking the new formula, but I'm getting used to it. Quick Dry Adhesive by Scott. Tombow Mono Adhesive is also, I just wish that they make the bottle bigger. They also have something called score tape or red line tape. It's called score tape, Cora tape. It's different like types. It's basically tape that is like, how do I explain it? It's sticky on one side and then it has a backing on another. You take the sticky side and you put it down, and then once you're ready, you varnish it, you rub it in really well, and then you take the red liner or the white liner off, and then you adhere the paper to it, the other piece that you're gluing on. So that's basically what score tape or red line tape is. It is, and it is really sticky and it's very unforgiving. They also have ACT, which is, oh god, I forgot what the ACT gun stands for. Not ACT. AG. Anyways, they have this type of like big gun looking type of thing. It doesn't look like a gun. It just looks, anyways. It's just basically, it helps you adhere, oh god, what is it called? Glue down. So yeah, and if I remember the name, I'll probably use it in another broadcast. And I know Scott makes their recollection to make some. They come in different big, small sizes. It's up to you what size you want, or whatever. Or 3M makes it, anyways. So yeah, so there are different companies that make the I forgot what it's called. Anyways, I don't even use mine anymore. But okay, so that is that. Also, Ranger Inks. Ranger Inks makes a lot of good glues from their company as well. So you can look up those companies. And if you hear any noise, I'm sorry about that. Not my hamsters, my ferrets decided that they want to drink water. I had to literally move from the living room to the bedrooms, because there is a new person that moved in, and apparently, I guess he's a DJ, so he's working on something. It's cray-cray. What are you gonna do? It's part of living in New York. Okay, so those are just a few of the things that you can do that, if you don't have any equipment. The other thing is you can actually buy something, which is a hole punch. Now, if the material is very thick, you may want to look into getting some type of industrial hole punch. Probably like your Home Depot, your Lowe's, your any hardware store. What is that hardware store? Oh, Harbor Freight. If you guys live near Harbor Freight, and you get that, and you get the hole punch, and then you will punch out your pages depending on how many rings. Now the rings, a lot of different companies sell the rings, or you probably could find the rings there. They just basically open, and then you thread your paper in, and then you close it. You would use the covers, pages. You can use single-sided. Actually, I would prefer, not me prefer, but you should use double-sided paper for this, because you're going to see both sides. So double-sided paper would be the best way to go for this particular one. Or you can even use an 8x8 paper pad. You just punch the holes, make sure that the cover is the way you want it, and then you punch that, and then you can decorate your covers, and then you add your photos inside, and presto, bingo, you have, a a mini album book that way. Do I recommend it for anything bigger than 8x8? 9x9s are okay. 10x10s are okay. 12x12. It depends on you, depending on the structure of your rings. What do you want? How many rings you want to add? That is totally up to you. Now let's get into the machines. I have both, but I didn't get the new one, and I'm not planning to. I have something called the Cinch, which is, let's backtrack. We Are Memory Keepers does make a very good hole punch, and you can use it for everything. So it's called the Big Bite. So I like it. I've never had any problems with it. So that is one that I definitely could recommend you using. So back to what I was saying. Okay. Now, the other wonderful thing is that they do have machines out on the market. There are sometimes good deals, and you have to wait around holidays and stuff like that. But there are companies that do make machines out there. I know that Seven Gypsies made one for the rings. I don't know if it's still out on the market, but you guys can look up something called Seven Gypsies, and look up for their binding machines. I didn't have one. It's very small, and I know that it's red. It's black and red, and you plug it in, and you're supposed to basically use that to make holes for your rings. Honestly, I did buy the Tim Holtz one to basically either you can use it for rings or you can use it for his special binding, which is like the note leaf paper or whatever, the paper that we use in school, with the 3 holes. I wasn't impressed by it. I thought it was a little too flimsy. I found it difficult to line it up. It just didn't make any sense to me. I couldn't make heads or tails with it. But, maybe I just got a little bit more practice with it. Who knows? And there were not a lot of videos on that particular product. So, that's where I get most of my understanding, because I'm a visual learner. I don't know. Sometimes I need to hear and see it so that I can understand what what's going on. Or sometimes I just kind of delve in and just, head first, which sometimes can get you into trouble, FYI. So I wasn't impressed with that particular, and it's not mechanical or anything like that. I do have something called the Cinch, which is by We Are Memory Keepers. It's a pretty big machine. It's not that big, but it's kind of portable because they do have a latch for the handle, and they do have bags for it. I don't have a bag for mine. Maybe in the future. I don't know, due to limited space in a crop, I wouldn't know if that would be, depending, if you don't put a lot of stuff on the table, because, you only have a little limited amount of space in a crop. But I think that it's a good machine, because what you can do with this machine is customize your holes, and it does come with one machine makes round holes, and they came up with another version which makes square openings. That sounds much better. Square. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna need another cup of coffee. Anyways, so it makes square openings. And it tells you pretty much how to you put the openings in. I mean, you put the paper in the openings, and then you punch them, and then you basically you have your O wires, and then you close it up, or whatever the case may be. You just basically you follow the We Are Memory Keepers does have a video, so I won't get into too much detail about that. But you basically you open it. I mean, you put the paper in, you take the binding, and you close it, and yeah. So it makes a really good. I don't know. My impression of it was that it was just kind of bulky. Some of the putting the wires together, where they have like a little station where you put the old wire, then you put the paper. It's just, I don't know, it was a little, I stumbled upon that a little bit. And the other thing was that I had trouble with the like black stuff coming out of it when I punch the paper. So you would probably want to use scrap paper and punch it a couple of times because it was brand new. So sometimes that's what happens when you you do that. You do that when you do that when you first get it. Sometimes that's what happens when you do that. Because I think okay. So yeah, it's a good machine. It's sturdy. It has its cons and its pros. It's all up to you. I personally use my Zetter much more than I do use my Bindable. I think because I had more practice with it, and I had my Bindable from Zetter a much longer time than I did have my cinch. So that's just my take on it. I'm seeing the pros and the cons of it. Now, what can I say about the cinch? What else? I think that's it. Moving on to the Zetter. The Zetter does have little extra parts that you have to buy, and sometimes they have a lot more sales than we our memory keepers do. And you can look up both products, on Amazon. Yeah, I wanted to say Yahoo, but I wanted to say with eBay. Anything else that I can think of? We Are Memory Keepers does have a website, so you can definitely have, and a YouTube page, so you can definitely check them out there. Zetter is a little tricky because they don't go by Zetter. They go by the name Bind It All on their website. So it took me a little while to figure that one out when I was learning about them. They do have nice little sales. They do have great covers, and they are different, but at the same time, you can still, whether or not if you have a cinch or a Bind It All, you can still use their same products. If you do use custom holes, you basically, you just have to work around it. But anyways, if you customize your holes with We Are Memory Keepers, the all wires are pretty much looking the same. The only thing that the cinch has differently is that they have the Spyro, and you just basically, which I had, and I don't know, I just got frustrated and I threw them away. Yeah, crazy story. I was trying to figure out how to close it properly, and then I did not notice that you would just bend the end to kind of keep it closed with your pliers. So that was a little frustrating and very embarrassing. But I do suggest that you guys watch the videos and get all the information you can, and do not make the same mistakes that I did. So, okay. So back to the Zetter. The Zetter does come with nice little deals. It does come with a bag. They do have a little sale for the bag. They do have extender plates that you buy separately, which about a couple of years ago they came with. And they do have other nice little items on their website that can coincide with your O-rings. And you can also use it if you do have a cinch. You can also use that with your cinch. So that's pretty cool that it's interchangeable. The Zetter, basically, it works differently. The only drawback that I see every once in a while is that it comes with this little like plastic keychain thingy, and I'm always losing it, so I kind of have to remember what size O-ring I use to make sure that the channel is set properly. That's my only drawback with them. And you basically, and it's smaller, so you kind of need to, it comes with an extender so that the base will sit properly. So you got to be careful where you put your hand at, because I almost made that mistake. I almost put my hand on top of the little, I forgot what's that called, the thing that binds it, the things that close, and I almost put my hand there. So I'm always having to remember, no, don't put your hand there, put your hand here. So that's the only other thing. With the cinch, you don't really have to worry about it. It just comes with the handle. You pull it down and you put your pages together. So basically with the cinch, you pretty much do the same thing. You take your O-wire. It doesn't have a place where you can put your O-wire. You have to do that manually. and then you put your covers, back to back. I mean, facing forward, and then the same way you would do with the cinch, and then you close the binding all. I mean, you can close the old wires, excuse me. Now, the old wires are basically the wires that are the binding. They come in many different colors. They come in black. They come in white, copper, anything else. You would definitely have to look up go to www.binditall.com. I like Bind It All better because, like I said, they do have deals on their covers. They also do have pages. So if you don't want to cut your own pages, you basically can use their pages, and they even have photo protectors. I just realized that the cinch has photo protectors, and they also the cinch does have kits, which I didn't know about. One was a recipe, a calendar, a journal, and I believe that's it. So definitely, I don't know if they're still out in the market. I just did some quick little research to kind of help me remind me of the little nooks and crannies of each machine. The cinch does have a nice couple of things. The Bind It All has a really nice couple of things as well. They also have, which I don't know if the cinch can cut this, but they do have wooden kind of book covers, which are really cool. And what else? They also have bamboo looking type covers. They do have black, they have white, which is really pretty. And the Zetter covers come to, up to, I think it's 13 by 13, so that's a pretty mega size book right there, which is awesome. So, anything else that I'm missing? No, that completely is it. I was going to cover adhesive next week, but since this is kind of short, I figured I would give you guys a little bit more of adhesive. And, you guys can definitely check out, Heidi Swap, Google how to make a mini album, or just go to YouTube and how to make a mini album. There's a lot of different ways. You can also even make paper bag minis. That's another really cool thing that you guys can do. The brown little paper bags. Well, I've seen them in craft stores. I've seen them in like 99-cent stores. You can have that, trim them up, cover them with paper, and that would make a nice little mini album as well. You can use your, you can use the back-to-back kind of method with some glue, or you can just make some holes and, use your key rings or whatever the case may be. I forget what those things are called. So, and they make them, I know the Seven Gypsies, which these are hard to find. They make them extra large, so they're really big. You could probably find them at, office supply stores. They're basically just, the little O thingy looking things. Thingy. In my household, it's on top of the thing, or basically we say deso. Oh, it's on top of the deso next to the deso, right? Yeah, it's on top of the thing next to the thing. With the whatchamacallit. Yeah, that was always the other thing. They come in many different colors, and they just are like an O-shaped metal piece, and they open and close, so that you can use that. I definitely got those at Home. No, it wasn't Home Depot. I got it at Staples. Yeah, I got that at Staples. So that was another thing. And don't be afraid to look at, not just craft stores. Staples has it, because I found printable cardstock. Basically, printable cardstock is like if you want an image from the computer, like let's say a digital image. Like a lot of companies make digital stamps. You can find them on Etsy. You can find them at Etsy. You can find them Greeting Farms, excuse me. What do I want to always change their name? I'm always doing that. Greeting Farms. A lot of different companies make digital stamps. You just have to, once again, my friend, Google, and you just print them out, and then you can color them and you know, a lot of the markers take really well to them. So that was something that was pretty exciting for me. So, because I could not find at my local craft store, you know, printable scrapbook, not scrapbook paper. La, 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 la. Principal's cardstock is what I wanted to say. Yeah, no, guys, I have not lost my mind. It's just been a crazy week. I'm like thinking it was Wednesday, then I'm thinking it's Friday. I've just been kind of thinking, speaking of which, I'm actually thinking about making a little cute little mini album for my son. Actually, it's not a mini album. I was thinking about making him like a little autograph book for his graduation. I know that there's a couple out on the market already. I don't know if kids still do this, but I wanted to do like an autograph book for him, so that he can remember his teachers and stuff like that, and take some pictures and maybe make some minis. Not a mini, but an album just for him, because he likes to look at his little pictures and he goes, "Oh, me as a baby." So that's pretty cool. So if I make that, I will definitely let you guys know that that video is up. Again, I do have a YouTube channel. I've made some minis before. The Little Crafter Show, just look up Eileen or HK Star Eyes. I'll leave a link down below to my channel. Anything else? I do have some notes in my hand, but you know, sometimes you write them in shorthand and you're like, why do I feel like I'm missing something? You know, have you ever gotten that? I know, I get that like 60 or 75% of my life. I think that's it, guys. And, you know, again, if you guys have any questions, please, you know, if you can, leave a comment, or you can go to my website, which is eileenthelittlecrafter.com, and you will find on the right hand side, contact me. There you can just shoot me an email, or if you're, you know, listening to this on my blog, just leave me a comment down below on my blog. Again, you can also find it on my website, or you can just go to eileenthelittlecrafter.typepad.com. And yeah, so anyways, I hope that you guys had a awesome holiday. I would like to thank those who have served and given, you know, the ultimate sacrifice. I cannot say thank you enough for to the families and to those who protect and serve this country. Thank you so very much. Anyway, guys, I will catch you next week, and bye for now.